Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where last episode we certainly took more damage than I would have liked. The Orion is going to be down for the count for a long time, and the Awesome lost its heat exchanger, which is not great. We're going to go ahead and tick forward here a couple of days, and we're going to need to hit this financial report. We're going to be running pretty tight here, there's no doubt about that, but that is okay, I think. Yeah, 200k, we should be fine. I don't think that we're going to have major issues here. So we're going to tick forward a couple more days here and let the Awesome finish repairing. Let's hop into the mech bay and see what's going on with it. I believe we also lost a heat sink. Yeah, it's super unfortunate that we lost that exchanger. So the double heatsink needs to go back on, of course. That's just a regular double heatsink, not a clan double heatsink. Okay. And we lost a medium laser. Due to losing the heat exchanger, we may want to think about just putting on a second double heatsink. Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. It's not ideal, but we'll just go ahead and do that. So 3,000 C-bills, 2 days to get that done. And we'll just move the Awesome up like so. There we go. And let's tick forward a few more days for many of our remaining mechs to finish up. Now, we're not going to wait for the Orion. I can tell you that right now. We're not going to buy a Solaris license either. Not when we have 179,000 C-bills in the bank right now. That is certainly not going to happen. Okay. Everything except the Orion is done. So that is perfect. Let's hop into the mech bay, make sure that they're all good to go. They do indeed appear to be that, so that is magnificent. And we're going to do some mech warrior training here. We can grab a point of gunnery for Brother. That's always very nice to see. A point of piloting for Coldfire. And for Muffin Top. Anybody else? Nope, that looks like it. Okay. So we are going to go look for some cash. We need some of that. We definitely need to deploy twice this month, I think, if we can help it. Although, this is 2 million C-bills. It's another polar battle. No free priority salvage, but we can sit here, or just straight down the middle. 1.3 mil and 2 and 9 salvage. That's pretty good compensation, all things considered, especially since we do have access to our top tier lance at this point. So we're going to bring in the Corsair, we're going to bring in the Mauler, the Madcat Mark II, and we're going to bring in the Salamander. Now we're going to need a pilot for each of these, so here's a Salamander pilot. Brother is a Mark II pilot. Chronic Toast is a Salamander pilot. Not actually ideal. Atlas, Wolverine, and Stealth, disgusting. Orion, Centurion, and Urban Mech, even more disgusting. Okay. Anybody over here have affinities for those mechs? Taboo, can I see your affinities, please? Thank you. Atlas, Landsman, Corsair, okay. Madcat Mark II, you're Battlemaster, okay, sure. Paladin with the Awesome. Yep, and Succubus with the Black Knight. I think that's just the way it is. So we're just going to need a random person in the Mauler and in the Corsair. Okay. Let's do this. This is 4.5 skull. We do expect this to be somewhat challenging, especially with the amount of compensation that they're giving us. 2 million C-bills is a lot of C-bills for one mission. So I am expecting this to be fairly stiff resistance, but in theory, the compensation should be worthwhile. In theory. We do have our top tier mechs here, so that is magnificent, and we are going to be very, very pleased about that. The real question is, how many dangerous weapon systems do they have? Like the artillery pieces, or heavy bombers, or things like that. What do they have in their equipment set? If it's just a bunch of big mechs running like, I don't know, a couple of heavy pulse, or a couple of large pulse lasers, I don't care, right? But if it's lighter units, running more dangerous weapon systems, then maybe we do care. Like, imagine a universe, right? Where it spawns in an enemy lance that's like 4 king crabs, each dual-wielding UAC-20s. And then behind that is 4 long toms. That would be something that I would probably nope out of. I don't think that I'd be particularly happy about that. So we need to rendezvous with Bravo Lance and clear the AO. The local pirate organization has attacked our employer's forces. Particularly, they seem interested in a specific lance. It may be a vendetta, or they may just be after specific technology. Whatever the case, we need to defend the lance at all costs. Pirate forces are not the only ones interested in this lance. Okay, well, Darius, you don't seem to have capitalized the P in that, so, it wasn't capitalized in the briefing either, so the first sentence there. Commander, we're setting down. Our allies have been pinned down, and it looks like they've become primary targets. Okay. So let's skip on through this. Pirate battle mechs, indeed. We do have a Bravo Lance, and let's see here. We could land as far forward as this, so that's what we'll do. Also, I apologize if there is hammering coming through on this microphone. I'm not sure if there is or not. Definitely on the old microphone it would have been coming through. There's work happening on the house right now, and it is slightly noisy, but it's fine.
After this mission,
shouldn't be a big deal. In theory, may not even be hearable on this mic. We'll see. So we definitely see a couple of heavy bombers there. Ah, this would be Bravo Lance. Looks like their materials didn't load in. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, we're going to go ahead and move forward with our Battle Master here, and let's see what we can fire on. This is round 1, so we don't have sensors. 33%, 37, 28, 37% seems like it is the one to beat. So let's go ahead and fire on that. 2 hits on that Ifrit, looks like. Was that only 1? That was 2. That was definitely 2. Okay. Phase 21. They're firing on our friend the Archer. Sure. We only have to have 1 enemy lance unit, or rather allied lance unit survive. So that should be fine, in theory. And they have at least 4
Commander
flyers, so that is not too terrible. We're going to move the Black Knight up over here. I don't think we're going to be in range to do much other than, yeah, just the HA-20. I think I'm not even going to bother warlording for the HA-20, and we'll save that. Okay. Got some decent hits in there, panic level critical, and we did manage to proc their AMS. That is great. So this is an allied lance in addition to Bravo Lance, which I believe is up here. Interesting. I didn't realize that, but sure. We've got a lance of vehicles back there.
Commander?
The Awesome is going to step forward. I would like to get clear LOS on this Ifrit, the one we've been focusing on. And we can indeed do that with a sprint. So we'll move up over here. And 30% does mean that I want to warlord this. And we're not going to fire the rockets. These hit odds aren't great, but yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Okay, the Archer moves forward, fires on our Black Knight. AMS does some work there, I think. A little bit. 5 out of 40. Okay, they have an Atlas. But that's not very scary, I don't think. Doesn't seem to be anyway. Our Salamander is going to step up, and I don't think we can get into hitting the same Ifrit as the others, but we can fire on this Ifrit. It's not great hit odds, and it'll have AMS. But let's see what we get.
All weapons locked. Go.
Honestly, that was a decent number of missiles hitting, all things considered. Our allies are moving forward. Not really doing too much, but a little bit of damage onto that archer, I suppose. Okay. Dragonfire moves up, fires on this guy, doesn't really do anything.
Good to go.
The Madcat Mark II is going to make its way up this direction, and will position here.
Double time. Let's go.
And I'd love to continue to fire on this guy. We're going to Warlord, boost those hit odds slightly. Nice. So that Ifrit is down. We do have a second one,
Trashy.
but the Corsair hasn't moved yet, and the Corsair may be able to shoot it down since it was softened up by our Salamander. The Archer getting a rear attack in on this vehicle, and a pretty solid one at that. Does decent damage, but no kill.
What can I do for you?
So the Mauler is going to move up,
I read you.
and
Kid.
I think that we
Go now.
absolutely fire the LBXs here. I do not want this Ifrit to shoot at us.
Tell me what to shoot.
Not fantastic hits there, but they're okay, I guess. That Ifrit has been substantially weakened in its armor. Those archers not getting very much done, though. That's not amazing. And shooting at the Vulcan, that's fine. Just a little bit of splash damage there, not a big deal.
Yep.
At this point, the Corsair can move up over here. This is moving into the geothermal, but that's okay. We'll fire on this Ifrit. We will definitely Warlord it. How much of an overheat was that? I didn't even look at it. I know we were in the geothermal. Okay, not too bad.
Heat levels.
The Boar's Head is now going to move up over here.
Moving to position.
And we're also going to fire on that Ifrit, and we're going to fire in flak mode here. I want it dead.
Firing all weapons.
Sadly, his AMS is still not overwhelmed.
Reporting heavy damage. Know that.
Okay, incoming drop pods, so additional reinforcements over here. Okay, not shocking. And I think that we damaged our own Madcat there with the artillery, but this Ifrit does get to move, sadly. We were so close to shooting it down. Let's see what it does. Well, that's not very scary. Okay, it completely failed that attack. I love it. It unjammed its AMS. We do know that this is on the way in. However, so far I'm not very frightened by what we're seeing here. Yeah, sure, a light PPC from the DI. That's not a problem. And now this one is going to move. Actually, that was a Hummingbird that just moved, I think. No, that was a DI. It's going to Ace Pilot here. There we go.
Got something you want done?
So at this point, the Battle Master is going to sprint off over this direction. And we're looking to shoot down that Ifrit. I want it gone. We missed basically everything there, but the pilot ejected, and that does the trick. So the Hummingbird moves up, fires on the Boar's Head. It's got that rotary, like, AC-2 or light rifle. Okay, not a big deal. Ah. I didn't realize they had a thumper out there.
Took a hard hit there.
Took a hard hit there.
Well, now that we know that, that can affect our choices a bit here. We're going to move over with the Awesome over this way. And where was that thumper? Is that this guy? Yeah, no, that's a Jess. This one's the Thumper. So we're kind of reliant on our allies to take out that Thumper for us. Okay. We can fire on either the Hummingbird or the DI, and hit odds are actually identical. So we'll fire on the Hummingbird. It's more likely to be removed. And it's got those 2 bombs.
Target acquired.
There we go. Fantastic.
Reporting vehicle destroyed.
We'll see what our allies decide to do here. Fulcrum moves up, fires on the DI. Doesn't hit. Cool. Another fire on that DI. No hits there either. The Archer moves in, fires on the Thumper. Does get some damage in there. In fact, a pretty good amount. How's the armor on that thing looking? Still reasonably strong.
Receiving you.
Okay. The Salamander is going to close in over here. And we're definitely going to shoot down this DI. We'll do something like this. Just the MRMs.
Firing on target.
And that should do the trick. Maybe not enough clustering there. Yeah, it split between the front and side. Okay, fair enough. We'll take it down with the Corsair. The Fulcrum moves up, fires on the DI. Does no damage. And the Archer moves on in, attacks our Salamander. Does quite a bit, actually.
Reporting major armor loss.
0 from 40 hit by AMS.
Order.
Oof. We're going to move the Madcat Mark II up over here. Do we want to shoot down the DI, or do we want to go for the Archer? Hit odds are slightly higher on the DI, so let's go for that.
Target.
Structure exposure, and I would think that would be a shoot down. I saw multiple hits internally.
Critical hit.
Pilot ejection. Okay, that'll work. So we know after this round... Interesting. We know after this round there's going to be another Lance dropping in up over here. Okay, that's another Boar's Head. Fascinating. Cool.
Waiting on you,
So the
Commander.
Mauler is, I think, going to start moving up over... Actually, I kind of want to head out over this direction, because I want to keep the structure here between us and these guys while we're dealing with the Archer and the Boar's Head. The Jess and the Thumper are kind of secondary concerns right now. But let's just see if we can strip any armor off of this
You
guy.
betcha.
Not bad. Okay, the Plainsman moves up, does not fire. Our allied Archer moves up, goes for the Jess here. I would prefer that it go for the Thumper, but I guess that's a decent chunk of damage. The Jess moves up, goes for our allied Archer there. Does quite a lot of stability damage, not a ton of
What do you need?
actual damage, but a decent amount of stability. We're going to move up with our Corsair here, and I suspect that we're, due to heat concerns, we're just going to fire this.
Attacking from position.
Okay, 80 damage into the Archer will do. That is almost 10%, in fact that's 8% of the Archer's armor gone. So, not too terrible. And let's see what our Vulcan friend here does. I'm hoping... Ooh, that's a charge. That's a straight up charge on the Thumper. Very bold. We'll see how that goes for him. He successfully meleeed. Structure exposure in the Thumper there, but it's not dead. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
So the Black Knight is at this point going to sprint over this way.
On the move.
And we're interested in continuing to strip armor off of this Archer. There we go. Good armor strip there.
Orders.
And now the Boar's Head is going to step up.
Acknowledged.
And perhaps we even fire on this Boar's Head here. Indirect. Heat is a concern, so we'll just not fire the arrow 4 here.
Affirmative.
Sniper artillery missed horribly, but we got a little bit of damage with the LRM. We should have gone for the archer. Okay, enemy units dropping in. Okay, so are these in the same faction? These are Comstar units. These are not pirate units. Okay. They've got a Kintaro, a Firestarter, a Black Knight, and an Osprey. That's not that threatening. Cool. Maybe they'll engage this Atlas for us. Well, that wasn't amazing. We're going to move up with our Battlemaster up over to here.
Position confirmed.
And we'll just fire on this archer. 50% hit odds is getting up there. I like it. We can not Warlord, unfortunately. Oh. That was not 50% rolls. Okay. Well, Comstar is going to move forward over here. I'm hoping that they go for the Atlas, but they are not, it would appear. The Awesome is going to move in over on this flank, and we're going to look to hit this archer, which is starting to get quite weak, especially with another 75 hit there. One more hit means that that archer will be unsteady, but the archer moves this round, so that's not really very useful. Fulcrum firing at the archer, getting a little damage in there. Okay. We're just ace piloting the Fulcrum. I am hoping that these guys engage the Atlas. But it seems like they're interested in coming up here and engaging our allied units. The Vulcan is meleeing the Thumper again. Okay. Sadly, it did not get into the exposed structure. It went over to the strong side for some reason there. I have no idea why it would do that. Okay. Some armor damage into the Awesome. No big deal there. Once again, 0 of 40 hit by AMS. Oof. Okay, the Osprey moves up. Does not fire. Seems like those guys may not be aggroed yet. Reasonable hit there. I don't hate that. That's less armor to deal with on that archer. The Dragonfire moves up, rear arc attacks the Boar's Head, and gets a structure exposure. Huh. That was pretty neat. Now keep doing that. The Thumper is going to fire on the Vulcan. Cool. Plainsman moves up, fires on that archer. I don't think it hit. Boar's Head moves down, shoots at the Osprey. Yes, that's what we want. Amazing.
Aye, aye.
The Black Knight is going to close in over here on the archer.
Copy that.
I'm hoping that we're in range now for our pulse lasers, and indeed we are. I'm going to go ahead and Warlord this. It's a bit out of range, but we'll boost those hit odds slightly.
Confirmed.
That's a lot of armor strip into an unsteady on the archer.
Critical
This
hit.
archer is super dead. It just doesn't know it yet. The Fulcrum moves up, sensor locks the archer, and then fires on the Jess. Okay. 10 damage in there, I guess. Little bit of splash damage. It's really not that
Was
much.
a big hit. Big hit.
No, you didn't.
I hate these guys.
At some point, we're going to have to hit some of these with AMS, but... The Black Knight moves up, doesn't fire.
Commander.
The Salamander is going to step in over here.
Heading out.
And this is the freest shot I think we've ever taken. Well, maybe not that. That's maybe a little hyperbolic. But this is a super free shot.
Roger that.
God damn, let's do this.
That was a lot of damage
For a
there.
critical hit.
That's a knockdown on the archer. Excellent. He has no armor left. It's amazing how much that spread out, but they're shooting at the Jess here. Okay, got some damage in there. I would like it if they'd kill that Thumper, but no such luck at this point. I think the Mauler is going to sprint up over this direction. I'd like to not fire the LBXs if we can get away with it. Yeah, we can just fire the SRM-6 here and see what happens. I want to save the LBX ammo. Perfect.
Enemy down.
That was exactly what I hoped would happen. So the Archer moves in here, fires on the Black Knight. Triggers that AMS on the Osprey. Sounds good.
Aye, aye.
Our Corsair is, at this point, going to sprint up. I want to sprint up. There we go.
Acknowledged.
And we'll sink that heat. Then we'll round this corner and hit the Atlas.
Yes, Commander.
So the Madcat Mark II is also going to sprint over here.
Going full throttle.
Excellent.
Commander.
The Boar's Head is going to sprint over.
Got it, Commander.
And I'd like to drop artillery, like on this Firestarter. We do need to consider that the Osprey has AMS, but it was just triggered. Maybe we get through.
Firing full salvo.
We did not get through. 21 of 21 hit by AMS. Wow. Okay. That's some insane AMSing he's got there. Well, we managed to get the sniper artillery in there and do some splash damage anyway. So the Firestarter moves up, fires on the Thumper. Sadly, it misses everything. That was side arc. That could have killed that Thumper very easily. Okay.
Awaiting orders.
Well, our Black Knight is at this point going to sprint up over here. This is side arc on the Atlas, which isn't ideal, but we'll go for it. I would have definitely preferred rear arc. But that's a good amount of armor strip on that Atlas. It doesn't have a good position right now because we're pincering it. The Battlemaster will position out over here, and which of these do we have better odds on? The Kintaro? Okay. We'll go ahead and Warlord it to boost these odds. They're not great, but I would definitely like to do some damage to this Kintaro before it does some damage to Bravo Lance.
Locked on.
Yeah, that's some damage there. Excellent. The Madcat Mark II can sprint up and position somewhere over here. Here would actually probably be the best spot. We'll fire on the Firestarter because it's unobstructed, LOS.
Target acquired.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that we missed.
Damn it.
That is about what I expected. Our allies are going to move now. The Fulcrum moves up, fires on the Boar's Head. Gets some damage in there. I like it. That's like 30 damage. Not terrible. Thumper moves in, goes for the rear arc on the Vulcan. Hilarious. Okay.
Standing by.
The Salamander is not really in a position to do much of anything here. We're going to move it up and just fire the ATMs at the Boar's Head, I think. Actually, not on 25%. I'm just going to hold them. Fulcrum moves up, does not fire. This is going to be the Osprey moving. Actually, it's the Archer. Firing on the Jess again. Getting some more damage into that side arc. Sure. Okay, now it's going to be that Osprey. Moves up, fires on the Jess. Sounds good. And just because of how long it's going to take us to close in here, I think I need to put a cut in here. And maybe we can do some... I don't think it's going to be like a full episode to finish this off, but it's going to be long enough. We're already over in this episode. We may want to do some logistical things at the end of next episode. We'll see how long this takes. I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we're going to finish this mission up. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.